أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. In the name of Allah, most beneficent, most merciful. My name is Mahdi Shehu, a citizen of Nigeria and indigenous of Katsina State, born and brought up there in a popular quarter called Opasori. Welcome to the 5th episode on issues primarily and majorly relating to the management of people and their resources in Katsina State between May 2015 to date. The intention is pure and genuine. It's not meant to degrade, embarrass, or make somebody feel uncomfortable. The whole essence is rooted into generating and disseminating information to the wider population, particularly of Katsina people, numbering over 7.8 million, as to the way and manner, style and speed with which their resources are being managed by people who are presiding over those resources through a social contract between the government and the governed. Today's episode is going to go down memory lane. We are going down to purely 2016 to see what happened, what took place, how, who are the actors, who are the actresses, what are the illusions there, what are the total lies and cover-ups there, who are those involved, and allow viewers to judge. The intention is always to educate, to empower people so that they can begin to talk rather than whisper. They can begin to demand for accountability from those who are managing them and their resources. They can begin to ask questions loudly, not silently. They can begin to determine what happened to political office holders at the time of elections based on credible information at their own disposal. Before we begin to go into the down memory lane, I want to give an update. This week, I presented the second and third petitions to Economic and Financial Crime Commission. The second petition is about the donation of 500 million naira by Katsina State government to the National Secretariat of APC as a contribution towards the conduct of the 2018 National Convention of the All Progressive Congress Party. That money was removed from government account. That money was said to have been given to the SA political, to the governor. That money evidently has not gone to the APC. That money was rather paid through government proxies. That money has not been accounted for. I have attached relevant documents to that petition, and I have retained some for posterity and for those people who think they can take people for granted. I have released just a small evidence indicating that indeed that money was removed. Indeed, that money was meant for donation. Indeed, that money was meant for APC National Convention 2018. I have written another petition, petition number 3, intimating the EFCC that the sum of 49 million naira at a particular date, the date is contained also in a document already in public domain. That 49 million naira was meant for the payment of hotel bills to government guests, to 7 hotels across Katsina. Funnily, that money, 49 million naira, was not paid into the respective accounts of the hotels, even though they are limited liability companies. Rather, the money was paid into the personal account of a political appointee very close to the governor, a vocal one for that matter, thus breaching all financial and prudential guideline acts, thus helping all these hotels to evade and avoid tax, thus getting involved in criminal diversion of money through unlawful means. I also wrote a letter to the Controller General Immigration, forwarding the name with description and photograph of one alias Luba Abdulaziz Maituraka Al-Jannu Dan Amina, who is a sorcerer by his own personal claim, requesting the Controller General to inquire, to dig deep, to find out, to travel extra length, extra mile, extra speed, to find out the historical origin of this personality. Because from the vineyard and from so many voices, he is an illegal immigrant that sneaked or was sneaked into the border, settled in Katsina, and by his own claim as a sorcerer, diluting our culture, because sorcery is alien to the culture of the people of the state. Another object is that consequent upon our last submission about retirees in Katsina State, 25,000 retirees that retired from 2018 to date have not collected their pension. A kobo has not been paid. I told you then that we have the complete list of those retirees, their names, their ministries, their personal subhead number, their account details, and the date they terminated their services from the state government. Funnily, just 2 days ago, Thursday and Friday, government have begun to call their telephone numbers, telling them that they are being invited in batches to come for screening as the government will begin to pay their own gratuity. If that is true, we thank God. If it's another deception, it will come to pass. Lastly, my challenge. In my last outing, I challenged the Secretary to the government of Katsina State to bring out a clearance letter from EFCC and ICPC, which he claimed in his press conference that he was aware in 2018 there was a petition against the governor, against him, and against so many government officials that were mentioned in name with their portfolios. The petition was submitted to EFCC. When asked by a journalist, his answer was, he has been completely cleared, the government had been cleared, all personalities mentioned in the petition had been cleared by EFCC and ICPC. On hearing that, the following day I challenged him, please bring me any verifiable letter from ICPC and EFCC that cleared and exonerated you, the state government, and all those mentioned in the petition, that you have been completely cleared of all allegations. And I promise you that I will give you 200 million naira now, because my take is that 100 million naira is too small for you. I have now jacked it up to 200 million naira. And I hope you will sum up the courage, you will develop the guts, and you will have extra audacity to respond to my challenge, and also to inform people during your tomorrow's FRCN 100 slated program what date at what time, the reference numbers of the two letters that cleared you of those allegations. Now, down to memory lane. Sometimes in the distant past, there was this emir or king who had 5 children, male children. They are all aspiring for the throne in the event of the death of the king. These children always try to outdo one another to impress the kingmakers and the larger community. One of the heir apparents of that throne is a rich, amiable, and likable gentleman. Suddenly one day he woke up and he lost his fingers and his toes to leprosy. It was so devastating that he could not even come out for many years. He kept on praying and keeping vigil. One day he woke up in the morning and he saw all his fingers are restored. Leprosy has fizzled away. And as Providence will have it, not long thereafter, the throne became vacant on the death of the king. There was this contesting for the seat. And eventually, this former leper emerged as the choice of the kingmakers and to the admiration of all the larger society and the subjects. On the first day when he appeared and sat on the throne with people around and singing praises for him, he cleared his voice and told somebody, I have a message that I want you to announce. And the message goes like this. And the announcer said, let everybody keep quiet. The king have a message. The king cleared his throat again and said, I thank God for the throne. I thank the kingmakers for choosing me. I thank the congregation that are here. The first rule that I want everybody to know and to understand is that there should be no going back into history, no going back into memory lane. It will be an offense punishable with death. That was the first royal decree. People in governance don't really like, sincerely speaking, their past being dug, especially their official past. We are digging into the past today. We are going to 2016 directly and inform you that between August and October 2016, specifically from June 2015 from August to October 2016, the government of Kudaden State claimed in an official document that they have spent 1,809,501,690 naira 54 kobo across Katsina, Daura, and Funtua zones. For what? For the purpose of construction of culvert and dredging of gutters and construction of retention wall and embankments.